Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone, for joining the speaking practice group tonight. My name is Mr. Dennis. I'm the one who actually the substitute of Mr. Ozie since he can join to be the moderator tonight, and we already have Mr. Edward. Good evening, Mr. Edward. So Mr. Edward will. Good evening. So Mr. Edward will be the presenter tonight. So he will talk the presentation about a prison. Before Mr. Edward will start the presentation about 10 minutes forward, I'd like to know some of new participants here, and I'd like to say hi for some participants that already joined the speaking practice group for some meetings, such as Mr. Anggit, Miss Fira. I think those two participants have already joined the previous meetings. But for some others, I just need to reconfirm whether you have already joined the meeting for the first time or you already joined the meeting in the past. So I just would like to reconfirm. Hi, Miss Dewi Uswatun. How are you, Miss Dewi?
Hi, Mr. Dennis. How are you? I'm sorry I can't open my camera because my device. Okay, this is my first time to join this meeting because the meeting pass I can join this.
Would you mind to introduce who you are since you just joined this meeting for the first time?
Sorry, Mr.
Would you mind to introduce yourself since you just joined this for the first time?
Yes.
What's your activity, your name? Would you mind to introduce yourself, please?
Oh, I am sorry. My name is Dewi Uswatun Hasana. I'm come from the FEMA IPB University, but I actually a bachelor degree from Agriculture University, and now my activity is administration collaboration at FEMA University, IPB University. Just it.
Marvelous. And how do you know this program from?
I know this program come from Pasca Sarjana IPB last.
From the postgraduate of IPB, yeah?
So, of course, sorry,
no worries. Thank you very much, Miss Dewi, for introducing yourself. And Mr. Rocky SN, are you also the first? Are you joining this group for the first time, Mr. Rocky?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is the first time I join this Zoom meeting.
Would you mind to introduce yourself, please?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm Rocky Subastio Nadabdab. I'm currently I currently live in Balige, North Sumatra, and I'm just moved here because I was assigned to work as a civil servant in Balige, North Sumatra.
And how do you know this program from?
I have a WhatsApp group from the UC English Club, and Mr. Rodi Febrian just sent me this link, and I joined this meeting.
Okay. Thank you very much for your introduction. And Naina, I just want to reconfirm, is this the first time for you, Miss Naina, to join the meeting?
No, Mr.
No. Are you Naina from Abel?
Yes.
Oh, Naina Abel. Okay. But have you ever introduced yourself in this group? Not yet, right, Naina?
I think so.
Oh, you think so? You did already, yeah?
No.
Oh, not yet. So would you mind to introduce yourself? Seems not everyone knows you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is
Hello.
Naina, and I'm 11th grade. I'm at 11th grade right now.
Okay.
And I'm Mr. Dennis'
Student. Okay. Thank you, Naina, for joining us. Okay. Mr. Andre, just want to reconfirm, are you joining this group for the first time, Mr. Andre?
Yes, I am. So,
So would you mind to introduce yourself?
So hello everyone, my name is Andre. So currently I work in one of the on-state company in Jakarta. So yeah, nice to meet you all, and yeah, I'm happy to join in the sessions.
And how do you know this program from, Mr. Andre?
So I just randomly found in the Instagram post. So then I just try to yeah, join for today's sessions.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Andre.
Thank you.
Mr. Albert, actually not for the first time joining this room, but the first time joining online room. So would you mind also introduce yourself, Mr. Albert?
Yeah, actually, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So it's really nice to meet you all. Even only 3 person in here to open the camp. It's such a a sad things because I cannot see anyone here. Only the photo is doesn't represent
Probably
anything.
the signal up and down, Mr. Albert. So not
No,
everyone
I
showing
don't
the
think so. I
camera.
think so. It becomes their classic reason actually.
But there is a possibility
Anyway.
like that, though.
Anyway, my name is Albert. I currently living in Jakarta. I am originally from Batam. Is there anyone know Batam? Yeah, close to the Singapore. So English is pretty simple for me because I always forth and back with Singapore, Batam, Singapore, Batam. That's why I can speak English very well. No, I'm just kidding actually. So
You do.
so yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity to see all of you. Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Albert.
looking forward for the cooperation actually.
Thank you, Mr. Albert. And the next participant who just joined also, Mr. Zain. Mr. Zain, would you mind to please introduce yourself? Boleh tolong kenalan, Mr. Zain, please?
Okay. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jainuddin Azhari, usually called Zain. I go to school in Bogor, Space Flight SMK. I come from Bogor and I got this Zoom information from Mr. Dennis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zain. And just want to reconfirm, Mr. Fadil Lubis, this is not the first time you joined the group, isn't it? Or is this the first time for you?
Yes, I already joined several times.
All right.
And I already introduced myself.
No worries. Would you please tell us a bit your current activities now, Mr. Fadi?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Fadi Nurani Lubis. People call me Fadi. Currently, I'm living in Turkey.
Okay.
So it's still afternoon here.
It's still afternoon there. So not good evening, yeah? Good afternoon still.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm here to to train my speaking.
Okay.
While also looking for the speaking class, your speaking class, the Leaders English. Maybe I will join for the next batch.
No worries. Thank you, Mr. Fadi, for introducing yourself. We have some other previous participants that already joined the group before. Miss Irani, would you please tell us what's your current activity as well? While not everyone's actually probably know you, would you mind to tell us what's your activity now?
Okay, Mr. Dennis, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Irani. You can call me Ira. I'm taking my master in psychology, in clinical psychology. I'm joining this night conversation because the theme about prison.
Prison. Curious about the prison, yeah?
Because 1 month ago in June, I just get my practice of psychology, clinical psychology in Lapas Cibinong class 2 for 30 days. So it's interesting.
Okay.
I own my own business for Meru and Sora. It's a clinical psychology bureau, actually.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Dennis.
Thank you, Miss
Thank
Irani.
you.
Okay, Mr. Anggit, would you also please tell us your current activities, since you also just a member of this group, Mr. Anggit?
Okay, hello, Mr. Dennis and everyone. Okay, my name is Anggit Adiwijaya. I'm come from Jogja. Now I as employee in a startup company. Okay, thank you for Mr. Dennis facilitating this group. So I can improve. Yeah, I think all of us can improve English together. Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you very much. Next, the one who also just a member of the group, Miss Elvira. Would you mind also tell your activities and probably the reason why you joining tonight's meeting, Miss Elvira?
Thank you very much. Actually, now I'm a civil servant in National Institution Research and Innovation, BRIN. I really like to join this group because I want to maintain and also improve my skill in speaking, because without practice speaking, it's just theorem. We must practice to improve our skill.
Thank you, Miss Elvira. The next participant who is also my bro, because he's the one who actually maintaining the Instagram, Mr. Rango. Would you also please tell us your current activity, Mr. Rango?
Yeah, sure. Mr. Dennis, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, maybe just directly to the question. My current activities, I am working at the moment in a corporation that has the core business in energy sector, power plant business precisely. And yeah, as you know, and like others, I joined this community to maintain and of course to improve my English speaking proficiency. And as Mr. Dennis said, that I managed to handle our Instagram page or account actually. And I'm really sorry to say that I forgot to post our last week activities. Maybe I would like to post it double later tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, Bro Dennis and others.
Thank you, Brother Rango. Miss Dian Panjaitan, would you also tell us your current activities, since you also just the member of this group, please? Okay, if Miss Dian's not available yet, I probably would like. Oh, there you go, Miss Dian. Would you mind?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. What is your question?
Could you please tell us about your activities? You are
I
the
see.
member of this group.
Okay. My name is Dian. Hello, everyone. My name is Dian Ferawati Panjaitan. Just call me Dian. Currently, I am a doctoral student at IPB, Department of Economics, and I also lecture as a lecturer in the same department at IPB University, Bogor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Dian. Miss Astuti, as the member of this group also, would you mind to introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you, Kak Dennis, and hello everyone. My name is Astuti. You can call me Astuti. I am teacher in senior high school. I like to join this group because I'm like Norwegian language enthusiast. Thank you.
Thank you. For the rest of participants that I haven't mentioned, such as Miss Diana Andriana, Miss Cindy Wulandari, Mr. Hanif Mubarak, Miss Inggil Reka, Mr. Fauzan Fina, and Mr. Yuda, I would ask you later on, but since it's already 7:45, it's time for us to listen for Mr. Edward presentation related to the prison. Just for information, Mr. Edward is an employee of the Minister of Law and Human Rights. So he's quite capable to talk about prison. So Mr. Edward, time is yours. You have 15 till 20 minutes to talk about it, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Edward. Mr. Dennis, you will operate the.
Sure, I can help you for that. Just a moment. Let me open your PowerPoint, yes, sir. Okay, just a moment. Okay. Yep. All right. Let me click, and it will be showed up really soon. Okay.
Thank you for helping me.
No worries, sir. Okay, let me just open it now. Yeah. Okay, 30 seconds, yeah, 30 seconds. It's still opening now.
Connection problem.
It is. You're right. Yeah, I actually used to download it, but then I forgot. So, yeah, it's already downloaded now. Let me just share screen to everyone. Okay. Yep. Oh, come on. Please, Mr. Edward.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dennis. Good evening, guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening.
Yeah, once again, happy to see you again in Amazing Club with positive vibe, of course. And in this good opportunity, once again, I would like to say thanks so much to Mr. Dennis and Mr. Asep, who inviting me to this club. And of course, I attend this club for the second time virtually, but first time face to face last week, yeah, in Bogor. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Still the first page, the cover, Mr. Dennis. Without further ado, I will deliver my presentation with title Life in Prison. So before the title is prison, but I changed in a few minutes Life in Prison. I hope this topic is not hard for you all guys, because I just want to share a little piece of life in prison. It's because, like Mr. Dennis mentioned before, that I work in prison department under the Ministry of Law and Human Rights. Next, please. Okay, I will start my presentation with these photos. Guys, can you describe what kind of this photo this? And where is this photo taken? Anyone?
Yeah, I would like to, Bro Edward.
Yeah, can you recognize where is this photo taken?
I think it's like a barrack, yeah, barrack for, I don't know, maybe that can be in a pesantren or that it can be in a prison as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Anyone?
Sure,
Can I?
Yes, of course.
Well, it's obviously it's a cell. In one cell consists about 25 until 30% in 8 square, maybe 30, what is it? 30 meter square room consists about 30% in Indonesia, isn't it?
Okay, thank you, Miss Irani. Yes, of course, guys. This photo took in the prison, for your information. This describe one of our conditions in one or two prison in Indonesia. For your information, many prisons in Indonesia are over capacity. Seems like in this picture. So that's why they sleep like that. We have 10 densest prisons in Indonesia that offer capacity more than 2,000%, for your information. Next. And once again, anyone can describe or familiar with these three photos?
Yes, it's artist Saipul Jamil. In the middle,
Yep.
who is it?
One of them was my ex-girlfriend actually.
And Ariel.
Yep. Yeah. I'm sure that all of you familiar with this three picture. As we know that Saipul Jamil was in prison for I don't know, maybe about 8 sentences in prisons, and at that time he put in Cipinang prison, and the familiar one, of course, Ariel Noah. This very phenomenal cases at that time, and Ariel put in Bandung prison at the time. And the last, we know that a singer, dangdut singer, Dewi Persik, he got 8 months, I think, 8 month sentences, and put in woman prison in Jakarta. So what I say from this picture, guys, that prison is a miniature of society. So the condition of the prison in society is almost the same within prisons. For example, there are many social rank in prisons. Poor people, rich people, famous people, we have an artist, we have a singer, politician, and etc. So many people come to the prison because they face like a criminal act in society. Next. Now, let's talk about the movies that tell us about the prisons. Anyone can recognize this picture? Because my favorite is the number 1 and number 2. How about you guys?
Miracle in Cell 7. I cried.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know. Oh, this is Ikatan Cinta. It's very famous.
How about the others, guys? Thank you, Miss Astuti.
Oh, yeah.
I think the picture number 3, the Ikatan Cinta, is the real one. It's represent the Indonesian prison. As you can see, the officer wearing the uniform. But I was thinking that it's still incomplete. As you can see, the trouser is not the pedal trouser actually. So so there is a misconception here.
Okay.
So sad to see this.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Albert. Yes, of course. This picture tells about the life in prisons. And of course, my favorite is Prison Break and Miracle in Cell number 7. It's very, for me, it's very touching movie, and so the real conditions in prison, in my opinion. But you know, why I take the third picture in this slide, because for my opinion, as you mentioned before, that is from TV series Ikatan Cinta. I just want to tell that many movies or TV series in Indonesia is not described about prison clearly. So there are many TV series or movie in Indonesia so about bad side of prisons. For example, drugs in prison, suicide, blasphemy, sexual violence, bad prison officer, and etc. Yes, of course, we know that it's just a small story from the whole story from the TV series. But still, it's what happened in our entertainment industry. They just sold they just sell about the bad side of prisons of course, for the rating. Sometimes it's funny for me when watch how they describe life in prison through TV series. I don't know how about you guys, but for me, sometimes I just love how the industry, our TV industry, saw about prison in the series. Please, next, Mr. Dennis. So guys, like I mentioned before, that many prisons in Indonesia are over capacity. You can see from the slide the number of inmates in Indonesian prisons. So more than 270,000 more people in prison right now. So you can see from the slide, 64% is male, 6% female, and we have a juvenile too, and elderly. So maybe you have a question about what is convict? Convict is someone that already has permanent legal force. In Bahasa, we call it narapidana. And these people put in prison. How about detainee? Detainee, we call it in Bahasa tahanan. Is someone who does not yet have permanent legal. So they put in detention center. For example, we familiar with Rutan Cipinang, Rutan Salemba, and others. Juvenile is a children who conflict with the law. So it's just child put in prison. But we call it the prison for juvenile is juvenile facility, or we knew that for lapas anak or lembaga pembinaan khusus anak. And how about elderly? Elderly is an inmate that reach minimum 60 years old. So we categorize this into 60 years old. 60 years old, yes, of course. Next. Yeah. As you can see in the slide, I will show you that what kind of a correctional.
I want to show you.
Maybe you only familiar with term lapas, penjara, rutan only. So guys, actually we have 7 types of correctional facilities. As you can see that we have prison, as I mentioned you before, that it's for convicted person. We call it lapas in Bahasa. And then detention center for detainee, we call it rutan. And from the table, you can see that we have 299 prisons all over Indonesia. We have detention center about 158 detention center all over Indonesia. And then we have juvenile facilities for children, 33 facilities. Women prison, the same. We have 1 in every province in Indonesia. Maybe you familiar with Lapas Perempuan Tangerang, Lapas Perempuan Jakarta, or Lapas Perempuan Bali, for example. And also we have a detention center for women too. We have 3 detention center for women. Parole office, maybe you guys not too familiar with this term, parole office. Parole office is for client. Is someone that released and finished their sentences outside the prison. So if you familiar with Ariel Noah cases years ago, he got a parole. He finished the sentence outside the prisons. And recently we knew about Angelina Sonda. She finished the sentence not in the prison, but outside the prison. So parole office do supervise and guide the client when they are in society. And then we have confiscated goods. I'm sure that you are not familiar too with this term. We call it in bahasa is rubasan, rumah penyimpanan bedah sitaan negara. So this office, when we have a cases and the evidence, we put in these facilities. For example, when you got a cases for drugs, so you put in prison, but the evidence put in confiscated goods office. They sometimes for like corruption cases, we have like car, motorcycle, and etc. in that facilities. And the last, we have hospital. This is a special hospital for inmates when prison or detention center cannot handle because the condition of inmates or lack of facility. So actually, we have a clinic or small hospital in all of our prison facilities in Indonesia. But sometimes, you know, because of the condition of inmates or because there are not enough the facility, we have to send the inmates, the 6 inmates, to the hospital outside the prisons. So we have one facility, hospital in Jakarta. If you're familiar in Cipinang, we have facility, hospital special for inmates. Next, please. So this slide just the info for you guys about the number of our officers all over in Indonesia. So if we compare with the number of inmates and the number of officers, one officer supervise about 15 until 20 inmates. You can imagine how hard the prison officers task when they do their job. Okay, next. Yeah, I think this the main course of my presentation. What kind of activities in prisons? Do they just stay at cell and sleep and then back to the society? Of course not. There are many programs that help in prison for the inmates. As you can see in the slide, we have sport program. Of course, not that sport, right? Every morning, inmates have to do sport program, like morning exercise, football, volleyball, and some prison have gym facilities for bodybuilding. And then we have a training program for the inmates based on assessment. So when the inmates come to the facility, they will get an assessment to know, to assess what their hobbies, for example, what they need. And yes, I'm happy that in our groups we have Miss from psychology major, Miss Yani, that already visit one of our facilities in Cibino. So new inmates, when they come to our facilities, we will do some like register and interview and assessment to know their hobbies, their needs, and the kind of like risk, assessment risk for the inmates. So after that, we will develop some programs for the inmates. For example, we have a program for making batik, furniture, shoe, handicraft, and etc. The aim of this program is when they got released and back to the society, they have skills, certificates for getting job or making their own business. So that the aim of this program. In some prison, we also have school program, especially for juvenile. So they can still continue their school in prison and get certificate to continue school when they release. We also collaborate with university out of the prison to help campus inside the prison. For example, in your prison Tangerang or Lapas Pemuda Tangerang, they have law university collaboration with one of university in Tangerang. So what I want to clarify in this slide, guys, that the activities in prison for the inmates not only just sleep, just stay at the cell and no activities, because our mandate as a officer that to give them activities, to give them to rehab them, and when they go back to the society, they have new skill, they have new knowledge to build their life when they in a society. So guys, to conclude my presentations, I just want to say that prison is the place for rehab. It's a safe place to repair someone before they back to society. And if one of you interested to collaborate with us to do some program inside the prison or just to visit a prison, please don't hesitate to contact me or just text me. I will be happy to facilitate that. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation. I hope you guys enjoy. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Miss Edward. So after you see the presentation, probably anyone wants to come to the prison. I'm not. I want to visit only, but I don't want to be inside of it, of course. Yeah, because it's fun, seems like. But come inside the prison, stay there. No, thank you. But probably just to visit, of course. Yeah. So, all right. Now it's time for us to have the Q&A. So if you have some questions, you may raise your hand. Okay. So previously, okay, we have, wow, so many people here. Let's tackle one by one. Yeah. So first, I'd like, but Miss Irani, you were the one actually who raised your hand first. So I will let you to ask, and Mr. Edward, you may just directly answer the question, please. Questions for you, Miss Irani.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis. Thank you, Mr. Edward. Well, my question is according to your presentation about the prison system in Indonesia. Well, what about the prisonal system in Aceh since they use the Sharia law? Thank you. That's all, Mr. Dennis. Thank you.
Okay, I will direct answer, yeah, Mr. Dennis. So
please,
thank
sir.
you, Miss Irani, for the question. Actually, I just go back from Aceh. So 3 days ago, I went to Aceh and visit some facilities on Aceh. I visit juvenile facilities in Aceh and some adult prison in Aceh to do some supervise in that place. So I think interesting question for you, because at the same time I asked the same question to my colleagues in Aceh. So since Sharia law implement in Aceh, there are differentiate about national law and local law. We can say that Sharia law. But when, for example, when someone got face the Sharia law, for example, they got like drunk, do like as a drunk, I mean. So the panel, the Sharia panel, give two options to the suspect. One, you go to the prison, or second, you got like I don't know the term, but hukum cambuk. So you have two choices. You go to the prisons and you go with hukum cambuk. So while waiting the hukum cambuk, the suspect stay in prison, sent to the prison. So it's time for him or her to decide, stay in prison or hukum cambuk. Because as for your information, my colleague information that one cambuk is 30 days in prison. Compare, it's the same, like equal with one cambuk is equal with 30 days in prison. So related to that, they have two choices: stay in prison because of they face the law, the local law, or hukum cambuk.
And for murders, how about murders? Because in Sharia law, murder is supposed to be punished as yes.
Yeah, murder is involved or mentioned in our national law. So for murder, of course, it's not face the local law, but national law. Of course, the person will face the prisons and the enforcement law, of course, from police, judge, and then sent to the prisons.
Thank you for the question, Miss Irani.
Okay,
Next,
thank you.
the second person who raised hand was Miss Dian. Miss Dian, you may ask Mr. Edward for the question, please.
Okay, thank you. Dennis. So it's really interesting presentation, Mr. Edward. Can you hear my voice, Mr. Edward? Hello?
Yes, we can hear.
Clearly.
Okay, good. Okay, so I have two questions for you. So I heard a lot about this statement. What do you think if there is a statement like this? The prison is only for people who commit crimes.
Miss Dian, I'm sorry, the voice not that clear. Probably the microphone can be closer to your mouth if you don't mind.
Okay. Okay. How about now?
Yes, now it's clear.
Okay. So what do you think if there is statement like this, Mr. Edward? The prison is only for people who commit crimes and don't have money to avoid prison. There is an exception for people who have a lot of money. They can prevent or can get special facilities. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? Is it 100% true or not? About my second question, you already mentioned about positive activities in prison. And I want to know about the negative side. Except the prison in Indonesia are full capacity. I'm waiting for a slide of photos about negative cases in prison. Like you mentioned, there is drug cases or sexual violence. Maybe do you know one or two cases related to this? Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Dian. Mr. Edward, please.
Okay, thank you, Miss Dian. I hope I can answer fully your question. For the first question, of course, I will say that that's not totally not true. Yeah, because if we see the process when the person face the crime, he will face a police first, yeah, judge, investigator, judge, and then got the sentence and sent to the prison. So if we say that prison only for the person that like have money or rich people, for example, of course that's true, because prison is the last part of this system. This is for my question. And of course, I know that that image come from the media that show any cases that show some activities or some cases, for example, in Sukamiskin prison, for example, media mentioned that prison that have good facilities. Yeah, but for you information, guys, that when Sukamiskin prison built when I don't know, years ago, or it's Dutch heritage. And at that time, Dutch provide or facilitate that prison for like corruption or big cases. So that's why the facilitation in in Sukamiskin prison is different from other prisons, because the categories of the prison is different. So for the first question, I'm sure that I totally mentioned that it's not true. And then for the second questions, of course, in this presentation, I will mention about the positive activities in prisons. So of course, they have any activities that negative activities, for example. When I graduate from S1 bachelor, my research is about sexual activities in prisons. because I was in criminology major. So my research is about sexual activity in prisons. So if we talk about the negative activity in prison, of course, one of them is about sexual activity. At that time, for example, because lack of heterosexual relationship, for example, any prisoners like do social deviant behavior when they do sexual activities. For example, with what I can say that with the prisoners too, they do the sexual activity. That's one side, and the other side, for example, there are still family of the prisoner. When they visit the prison, they took like drugs or knife or like something prohibited for the prisoners. So it's negative activity from outside the prisons. And of course, if we talk about drug cases, there are any activities that persons outside the prison send drugs by what I can say that melempar,
throw,
yes, throw the drugs from outside the prison to the prisons. So I think that's one of negative activity in prisons. So I think that's all my question for Miss Dian. Sorry. So I hope it's answer questions. And once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Dian. Next participant, I'd like to give to Mr. Fadi Lubis. Mr. Fadi Lubis, you may ask questions for Mr. Edward, please.
Okay, thanks for the opportunities, Mr. Dennis, and also thanks for the very very interesting topic and also awesome presentation, Mr. Edward, about that's something I just know about the prison. And my question is prison as a punishment is still relevant? Is it still effective, Mr. Edward? Maybe I can, could you please share to us about your view and also the effect of the prison as a punishment? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fadi.
Yeah.
Mr. Edward.
Thank you, Mr. Fadi, and very good questions. And I think it's like what I can say. Mr. Fadi knows, I think, knows well about the punishment in prisons. So, guys, right now we have new regular or new law about the prisons. So the mandate is the prison is not the good place for. Prison is the last choice for punish the people. So our new law, new regulation mentioned about that. So we already have implemented that for juvenile, for your information. So when juvenile face the crime or face the law, so we do that like some method like diversions. So we just discuss, collaborate with police, judge, and of course the family and the victim to do some recommendation for the child, for example. So once again, prison is the last choice for the children. So when the family and the victims agree that yes, I apologize the children, and I hope you can handle your children, for example. So the judge will decide the children back to the family, or if family don't have a support or don't have a finance or don't have a capability to treat the children anymore, so the judge will decide send the children to rehabilitation center, not the prison, but rehabilitation center. So that's why in these 5 years, there are still a few children sent to the prison. So very few children sent to the prison. And back to the new regulation of our corrections, the same. So it will implement for adult. So when, for example, adult or me, for example, face the crime, for example, like what traffic crime, for example. So my car crashed with the other car, for example. So by regulation, of course, it will process by police and then judge and then decide I will send to the prisons. But because the cases can discuss with the victim and with me, for example, so the judge can decide not send me to the prison, but send like substitute the what kerugian,
the loss
of the victims, for example, about 10 million or 2 million by estimate by the judge. So that's one of mandate for our new regulation. And of course, I agree with Mr. Fadi that punishment is not only about sent to the prison. Punishment is just to rehab, just to repair the persons, not only to the prison, but yeah, you can say just sent to the rehabilitation center, for example, for drugs user, for example, not sent to the prison, but sent to the rehabilitation center. Yeah, for the juvenile, for example, they not sent to the prison facilities, but sent to the family, back to the family to rehab, to repair the good collaboration in the family.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edward, for the explanation. Since we still have 3 participants left, but at 8:25 we are going to have breakout room. So I will let one person ask directly in the main room, but the other 2 can discuss further with Mr. Edward in the breakout room. So don't worry, the one who already raised hand can still ask question, but not in the main room. So for the next participants, I'd like to give Ms. Astuti. You may ask Mr. Edward a question or questions related to life in the prison, please.
Okay, thank you, Kak Dennis and Mr. Edward for the great explanation. Actually, my question is just replayed by Mr. Edward is about sexual evidence, yeah. But you are just explain to us how about. But my question is how about the preventive action to reduce the sexual evidence in prison, I think. And the second, and the number 2 question, I think I just read Negeri di Ujung Tanduk, and in that novel is telling us about temporary prison, yeah. Okay, yeah, temporary prison. Is there any temporary prison that put the victim, yeah, oh, not the victim, yeah, the victim who
Criminals.
Yeah, the criminals who not yet get their judgment, I think. And what is the differences between that prison and the
temporary prison
you tell us about? Okay, thank you, Jasper.
Thank you, Ms. Astuti.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Astuti. I think I will ask the second question first, because like I mentioned before that we have 2 categories of prison, of course. One is prison, one is detention center. Prison is like for person that already convict, already have a legal basis. So, for example, they decide by judge 1 or 2 years punishment. So, at the time, he will send to the prison, lapas. We call it lapas. So, for the person that not convicted yet, or we call it tahanan, because we have equity before the law, presumption of innocence, atau or we can call in bahasa prasas praduga tidak bersalah. So they will put in rutan or detention center. For example, we have in Jakarta, Rutan Cipinang, Rutan Salemba, Rutan Perempuan Pondok Bambu. So the person will send to that facilities, Rutan or detention center. And the first question, yes, of course, we already have a program or strategy to prevent that sexual deviant behavior. We have like a family visit. Family visit is the program that when the prisoners have good behavior and the family already we assess about the possibility the prisoners visit the family, so we can we held a family visit once in a year for 2 years punishment and twice in a year for 2 years more punishment. So what is the mechanism, the family visit? So the prisoner will go on to outside the prison, will visit the family, and with, of course, with with the prison officer company the prisoners. So of course the term is family visit, not sexual visit. Yeah, because we know we are in Indonesia, we cannot use a sexual term for that kind of program. So we use term family visit. We don't know what happened in their house, of course, when they meet the wife, for example, where they meet the kids, we don't know. But of course, we call it family visit, not sexual visit. And then we already have like, of course, visit to the prison, but not for sexual visit, of course. Yeah, so because in Indonesian term or Indonesian cultures, it's not actually about sexual, guy. So it's about how we develop the bonding between the family and the prisoners. So it's not about the sexual. So when they meet the wife, they meet the children, I think for my experience work in prison, it's more than just sexual. Because they meet like the one they love, wife, kids, and maybe the parents. So yes, we already have the program that prevent that sexual deviant behavior.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edward. For Mr. Andika, Ms. Inggil Reka, and Mr. Hanif, I will put you after this into the first breakout room with Mr. Edward before we move to breakout room, because probably some of us cannot stay until the breakout room session. We're gonna take a picture now because to avoid people leave after this and gone forever. So would you mind to turn your camera on so we can yeah, we can have your handsome and beautiful faces here. Yeah. So if you can't, it's fine. I'm gonna count into 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, close the door. I will not open the door anymore. Okay. So 3, 2, 2.5, 2.1, 2, 1.5, 1.2, 1.1, 1. Okay, 0.5, 0. Close the door. All right. So let's take a picture now. You can still open the door. Open the door. You can still open your camera. I mean, let me take a picture. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Let me copy paste first to the group. Okay. I will copy later to the group, and then the second one. I have second. Okay. Yep. Yeah. After this, as usual, we are going to have a breakout room session for 15 minutes for first round, and after that, we're gonna change with different partner. Special for Mr. Andika, Miss Inggil, and Mr. Hanif. I'll put you together with Mr. Edward. While the others, you may talk about living in a prison or talking about something else. But it's a freedom for you to talk about anything. We have 26, so I believe 26 minus 4, 22, 22. Okay, let me put into, let's go by 13 rooms. but Mr. Edward will be together with Miss Inggil, Miss Reka, room 5. Just a moment, yeah. Okay, and after that, beside Mr. Andika, okay, just a moment. Mr. Andika, room 5, and one more is Mr. Hanif Mubarak. Okay, room 5. Okay, Mr. Acep. Okay, room 2, room 8, room 8, room 8. Okay, and then yeah, let me read who will be with whom. Miss Astuti will be with Mr. Mujahid. Mr. Acep Usman will be with Mr. Surya. Mr. Anggit will be together with Mr. Fadi Lubis. Wait. Miss Diana will be with Mr. Rango in room 4. In room 5, there will be Mr. Edward, Mr. Andika, Mr. Hanif Mubarak, and Miss Inggil. Yeah. And then in room 6, there will be Mr. Albert and also Mr. Rocky. Mr. Albert is in room 6, yeah. Okay, and room 8, there will be Mr. Hari and Mr. Zain. Okay, room 9, there will be Miss Dewi Uswatun, Miss Naina. Room 10, Miss Cindy, Miss Hannah. Room 12 will be Miss Dian and Miss Irani. You have 15 minutes to discuss. Okay, 15 minutes to discuss in the breakout room. Start from now. Oh, shoot. Hannah belum bergabung. Hannah bergabung ke Zain aja. Miss Hannah? Salah gua nempatin. Welcome back, Naina, and welcome back to other participants. Yeah, sorry, the time's already 15 minutes, and now it's our turn to change the partner. Yeah, so we have 24 participants here. I'm gonna put you into different rooms. Okay.
Can you make me one room again with Mr. Rocky? Because we have unfinished business there.
I will give another participant another chance, Mr. Albert. You can continue by contacting in our WhatsApp group. You can discuss probably more later on.
Yeah, okay. It will different anyway.
Yeah. So for people who have just joined the room and you haven't become our member yet, you can join our WhatsApp group so we can discuss more in this group. And then now we are going to put we're gonna make a new partner here. Just a moment. Okay. Wait. Uh, 11, and then okay, I will put just a moment. Standard is there. Okay. Wait. I confused. Hold on. Room 13. Okay. Oh no. Wait. I cannot put you there. Just a moment. Room 13. Who are they? Okay. And then I will put. Okay. Wait, guys. I am a bit confused with this a bit, and then this goes to this first. Okay, so you will be with the new participants. Mr. Hanif will be with Miss Naina. Mr. Acep will be with Miss Diana. Miss Astuti will be with Miss Irani. Oh, okay. Miss Dewi Uswatun will be with me, yeah. And then in room 5 there will be Mr. Rocky and Mr. Surya. Room 7 will be Mr. Andika and Miss Reka. Oh, Mr. Andika and Miss Reka already in one room here before, yeah. So I will put room 7. Okay, Mr. Andika, Miss Reka, and Miss Reka not there. I will put into room 5. Okay. Well, let's just follow the link and you'll be with your partners. Let me open our room. Starts from now. 15 minutes to talk. Starts from now. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. There are some other participants not yet come back to the main room. Okay, 27 seconds left. Yeah, about 18 seconds left before everyone's joining back to the room. Okay. 3 seconds left. Okay, yeah. It seems that everyone is back to the main room. Thank you very much for your discussion with your partner. And of course, thank you for Mr. Edward for the presentation. Before we choose the new presenter and new moderator for next week, Mr. Edward, do you, okay, Mr. Edward, do you want to have any closing statement about living in a prison? I'll give you like 5 minutes probably to tell the closing statement about it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dennis. Thank you, guys, for listen and do Q&A for my presentations. I hope you guys enjoy my presentations. And once again, Mr. Dennis, it's good if we have a good collaboration with prison department. So once again, if you guys want to visit a prison, only visit, not going to the prison. So just tell me, just text me, and I will facilitate that visitation for you all guys. Especially like for Mr. Andika. I know Mr. Andika is now is studying about law, and Miss Irani. So it's open for you all guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry,
Edward.
I have to go.
Please. Yeah. You may leave. Thank you very much. Now for the last few minutes, does anyone want to be the next presenter for next week? You can talk about anything. Usually the presenters are the one who already joined the meeting for at least 2 times. So the one who have already met for 2 times, I know that, but not yet spoken. Mr. Fadilubis, not yet. Mr. Albert, not yet. Who else not yet here? Mr. Anggo already. So let me ask first, Mr. Fadilubis, would you mind to be the presenter for next week, Mr. Fadi?
This is what
Yay or nay?
don't know.
Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay there. Okay. So I count you for the next presenter. And previously, I actually said, who else? Oh, Mr. Albert, would you mind to be the moderator for next week? I'm just asking.
I don't think I have the capability of doing that because this is my first time, and then I haven't seen another person. Right? Yeah, I never saw any other person beside you, Mr. Dennis, doing the moderator things.
Right,
so I have to learn about that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Anyone else want to be a moderator? Naina, I know you. This is not the first time for you. I know you are still very young, but I know that if you want to be moderator, there would be great experience. Do you want it?
Can I
yay or nay?
About anything or?
No, you'll be like me tonight. So you are the one who handle the time. Yes. But if you say, okay, if you say yes, this is what I want to say. For everyone who say yes, I don't want to listen except if you are sick, yeah? Like Mr. Ozie today. If you are sick, then it's okay. I don't want to listen that, yay, but next week, no, I can't. I will back you up again and again. And it's not fun, you know. It's better to say nay for now. So yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So we have next week, inshallah, Mr. Fadi Lubis.
Mr. Dennis.
Mr. Fadi.
Sorry.
Yes.
Can I ask you something? to be a moderator,
Yeah, what do you
it
wanna?
means that the person need to make a breakout room or doing something like that. Is that correct?
No, breakout room usually will be done by me. So
Okay.
the
So
moderator only just handle the questions, answers, and then make sure that he or she can lead the conversation. You know, I'll always be the breakout room man. Beside me, usually Mr. Rango, who usually help me, or Mr. Joffy, or my wife, usually. Does it answer your question?
yes, that's all.
Okay. So next week, the next presenter will be Mr. Fadi Lubis. Mr. Fadi Lubis, are you in the
Yes.
WhatsApp group already?
Yes, I am. WhatsApp and also Telegram.
Okay, so I'm gonna contact you, yeah, because I'm worried if I contact someone, someone don't have the number, and I cannot contact anyone. So thank you, Mr. Fadi. Naina, are you in the group already, Naina?
Yeah, WhatsApp group.
WhatsApp group already. Cool. So see you guys again next week with the new topic. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
See you, everyone. See you, everyone.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr. Dennis.
everyone.
Thank you, Mr.